When things don't go the way that you want, when things don't go the way that you planned it, when things don't go the way that you saw it to be, what do you do in that situation? Do you just quit on it? Do you just give up and just say, it's not going the way I thought it was going to go, so I just don't want to do this anymore? Or do you try to figure out a way to be able to work with the situation of that's at hand with not getting what you want, but realizing maybe you need to work a little bit harder to get what you want. And the reason that things aren't coming and going the way that you wanted to be is you're not putting enough into it. That you're just kind of trying a little bit, not really doing the most. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. And today, I don't know what it is, but it's something that I need to change up and say in a little bit of a way of, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? How's things going with you? How's things in your world and your life and going on in your day to day that you see and you're working with and watching and doing and going around? How things going with you? Are you getting what it is that you're looking for? Are you seeing what it is that you want to be able to see? Are you having the freedom and the joy that you're wanting? Or are you just not getting it all that you want? Feeling as if you're lacking and slacking and behind and not able to do what it is that you want to do. Sometimes for me, I've come to realize everything that I want, it's not going to come out and be the way that I want it to be, that I'm going to have to make a little detours and a little changes along the way to be able to make it happen. That sometimes I try to write things and set it in stone and say, this is the way that it's going to happen. I'm telling you, this is the way it's going to happen. And almost like praying for it in a way of saying, God, this is the way that I want it to be. Maybe the way that I want it to be is not the way that is the best way for me to be. That's for me to really question a lot today of realizing sometimes the things that I want may not be the things that I actually need. And the things that I need, that I think I need, still may not be the things that I need. That's why I ask, how you doing today? Because maybe the things that you think that you need and you think that you want are the things that you should stay away from. And maybe the things that you think that you don't want are the things that you should try to pursue even more. That sometimes we get a little scared. We get a little nervous. We get a little iffy with what it is that we see and what it is that we do on a day-to-day. That sometimes we try to push some things away, thinking, oh, that's a little too scary. I don't know. And I can't trust in that, and I can't believe in that. But yet maybe sometimes that's the thing that you should really push harder into and push more into, way more into, in a way of being able to get a better understanding of yourself and realizing that some things that you need to work on upon yourself. That's why you're not trusting in it. That's why you don't believe in it. That's why you don't have any sort of faith with it, because there's some stuff that we still need to work on. That's why I ask again, how you doing today? How you feeling today? How are things going on in your life? Are you getting what it is that you want? Are you being able to experience the things that you want to be able to experience? Are you able to just be able to speak to the people that you want to be able to speak to? Or all the people around you kind of just not there for you, not want to listen to you? Are you able to have productive conversation with people to be able to give you what it is that you're needing to make sure that you're feeling pretty fulfilled? Because I do know one thing, being out here doing what I'm doing and living alone for so long, that sometimes the concept of being by yourself is fun and entertaining and awesome. But majority of the time, it's the same with all these animals. It's the same dilemma that I feel my pig is running into. I still don't know why I have a pig. He's just a fascinating animal that can eat anything. So I never have any trash to throw. I'm almost tempted to see if this dude could eat some plastic. It's pretty impressive what this dude can eat. But I ran into a situation of just being all by yourself can really, really put you in a jam. And it can really make your thoughts and everything go into a spiral. That I would say there's times and seasons that people should be alone and people should be able to try to figure themselves out and be able to do what you need to do. But most of the time, you need to be able to have a meaningful conversation to be able to help you grow, to be able to get you through the things that you're struggling with, to be able to really expose what it is in reality that you're struggling with. And for me, I feel like this past few months, been able to talk to someone, been able to really just expose my problems, insecurities with me that, I thought I was good to go in reality with a lot of what I've been doing, a lot of what I've been working on with myself, and a lot of what I've been going through. That sometimes when you just by yourself and hear yourself, you're missing some things, and there's some things that someone needs to come in, and that's where I'm going to say that sometimes the people that come in may have to come in with a way of serious talk, make you really think some stuff, some ways that make you try to, you almost start doubting yourself in a way of, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? Am I capable enough? Then all of those, when you start to think that, means you still got something to work on. So that's why I ask, how you doing today? Are you having someone in your life to be able to challenge what it is that you're doing to make sure that you're headed in the right place? And not just looking at you saying, you're good, you're amazing, you're awesome. Because for me, I've never really liked that. There was a time in my life that I say I did. But I still never really liked that. When people just say, that's good, that's great, everything is good, everything's awesome. When I can see it in you, that shit, you're lying to me. You're seeing me messing up and you're just telling me I'm good. You're seeing I'm failing at something and you're telling me I'm good. And that's something for me to just come to realize that sometimes the things that I want, the things that I think I need, is not what I want and need. It's something completely else to help. Something completely else, I said that right, to help me get on a better journey on this planet, to be able to see more as opposed to the more that I already see. Because there's always more. And there's always another, and there's always another chance at getting a better understanding of yourself. There's always more. And that to me is what I feel like is a beautiful thing to be able to have an experience on this planet. That not everything every single day is just going to be this magical maze of just bliss and happy. For me, I like that a little bit. But what I really like is to be able to have people put pressure upon me to say, hey, Mark, that's no good, man. I see what you're doing with that, and that's no good. And and in a way of not trying to harm and hurt me, of just calling me stupid, pathetic, and worthless for no reason. But in things that you see that I'm struggling with, and these things that you see that I'm hurting with, and getting that information in. This has been a lot of times with a lot of videos that I've done where someone has said something to me, and it kind of got in my feelings a little bit of like, man, that's wild. I can't believe you'll say that to me. And I can't believe you would have the courage to write those words down on that page to be able to hit that and send that to me. But then I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I appreciate for every recommendation that everybody gives to me. I appreciate everything that everybody has to say about how it is that I can be able to better my life. Even if you are trying to destroy me, I still appreciate that for some reason. That I don't know how to give you more thanks and say thank you. And today I really want to say thank you and ask how you're doing. And try to figure out more about how it is that I can better help you out with what it is that's going on with you and what it is that you see. That sometimes just saying you're good to go may work, may be good, but sometimes you need to hear something that's kind of challenging. And I do know about me and myself and what it is that I do in front of this camera on a day-to-day, that I say some challenging things, that I don't put the blame on somebody else, but I put the blame upon our own selves. And sometimes it's really hard to hear, and sometimes it's really hard to actually recognize and realize, especially when something's said, then it just gets really deep in your feelings. And it's like, especially if you don't even know me, that's powerful to me, because that's something that really lets us grow on this planet. And I know that a lot of what I've been saying, a lot of what I've been doing is very hard to hear and hard to try to understand and hard to try to comprehend in any sort of way. And it's hard for me to communicate it, because that's something that I do notice about myself. It's hard for me to communicate in a way of making it sound like I'm looking out for the best of you, where a lot of times it sounds like I'm just trying to harm you. When I'm not trying to hurt you and try to put you down. I just know that that's how I am as a communicator. And that's something for me that I'm constantly praying. And I'll pray right this second and say, God, please help me be able to communicate better to people about what it is that I actually mean and what it is that I actually am trying to say, as opposed to people hearing what it is that they want to hear and want me to say. That's something for me that I wish and I pray and I ask, Jesus, please help me out with that, so that I can be very clear, knowing that I see you, I hear you, I understand you, and I'm speaking what you're saying directly back to me, and for you to be able to have a good understanding of, wow, he really does hear me, because sometimes I do know that just the way I am is very challenging. And something is just amazing about that, but also at the same time, that's something that's hard for us, because that's what I feel like I bring into my life is more challenges, but not in a negative way. And I'll give a prayer to that, saying thank God for not bringing no ruthlessness to me, bringing me something that's helping me and guiding me and allowing me to be able to become a better person on this planet for more than just myself, but more for other people. And I'm just extremely thankful for that. And I wonder how many other people are thankful for the people that are with you, even if they irritate you some days, even if they just, I don't like saying this word, but I'm just going to say it straight up. They just piss you off some days. You just look at them, you're just like, dude, why are you still doing that? I asked you not to do that. And you just get irritated. It's like they're still doing it, and you don't get it. Sometimes those things can bring out emotions in us that can really, really better our lives, instead of just looking at it as it's a negative thing that's just drama, for instance. I don't know, I've just come to really appreciate a whole change today, another change of a change of a change that continuously keeps happening to me, that allows me to be able to really appreciate life even more, as opposed to like trying to run away from it and trying to hide from it and trying to think that being in isolation is going to be the way. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the way, because you're not going to learn and grow anymore. You're going to go to a point. You're going to get to the point that, yeah, you could deal with yourself. Yeah, you can sit by yourself. Yeah, you can entertain yourself. Yeah, you can do everything all on your own. But then you're still going to run into the situation of lack and being insecure about the fact of you do it all on your own. And not only just being powerful about it, because there's a powerful thing about being able to go to a restaurant as a single person, doing what you're doing. It's a powerful statement to the world, but it's also a very powerful statement to the world of going there and being with somebody. And I've noticed, it's just for men out here, if you a man listening to this, it's more powerful if you be with somebody going to a restaurant than going by yourself. You're more valued in society. I don't know why that is, but it's just what it is. And since I know that that's what it is, that's just how we got to play the game and do what it is we need to do. And it's something that it's not a game to try to manipulate, but it's a game to try and influence in a way of being able to better the people all around. When you see somebody struggling, you see somebody hurting, you see somebody damaged, you see somebody just that's enslaved even. I still see people today enslaved. I still see people that are hurting so much that they feel like they have no out, no way to get out. That being able to have the understanding of more self-control is able to really be able to get into that person and allow them to be able to get into a better state in a better way and a better being. And doing that by yourself is great and all, but that's something that for me I really appreciate when someone wants to challenge the whole fact of God being Jesus and Jesus being God and the Spirit being God and God being the Spirit. Because it's like Jesus wasn't alone. He may look like he was alone. He may have walked alone. He may have been doing everything alone. Where someone would say, "Oh no, Mark, he had his disciples, he had all his people around him." But he did. But those people weren't him. They were like helping him. They weren't with him like him. They didn't do what he could do. But Jesus wasn't alone because he had God. And Jesus wasn't alone because he had the Spirit in him. Jesus was never alone in doing what he was doing on being able to help and being able to guide, be able to teach, be able to do what he was able to do. He had someone of equal likeness next to him to be able to help him out. And at the same time, challenge him. Say, hey man, I see what you're doing, but how about this? I see you doing over there, but how about this instead? And it's something that to me is just something that I think is really powerful and really amazing. Because he's not alone. And the more and more that he started to need some assistance because he was unsure with what was going on and where he was going, the more and more and more that he started praying and he started asking. And he had a very, very direct line of communication with God because he's God. But he's like half God. But a half of God is still a whole of God. And that's what I can say about us as being, I use this term, but people like to use it inappropriately. But it is what it is we're a slither of God, so we are God as well. Because just a little bit of him inside of you is something absolutely magical. We may not be able to do the all-seeing being things of the God that created all this and created us is able to do. But in reality, who really knows? But we all do have something inside of us that is of him, because we are all a piece and all of and a part of God. And us being a part of God, I'm going to say this and don't take it the wrong way, but we are all God in a way, to be able to do what it is that we need to do, be able to make happen what we need to make happen, be able to make our own sacrifices to figure out how to be able to get into a better place and a better position. And the more and more that we start to pray, the more that we start to get tuned in with being closer and closer to God, which would not say make you a God, but make you more aware of what's going on around, as of being just lost and confused and on your own in the wilderness of unsureness and not knowing. It's something for me that just really gets me interested and just intrigued more with the concept of working upon yourself so that you're good by yourself and getting a better communication with God. And also, once you get to that point, now you need to start introducing more people around and starting to bring more in. That there's a message of on the YouTube that a lot of people are using the name of the chosen ones of talking about going more and further into isolation, where I understand that. I get that. But there's a time in the day that you got to get out of that. And that's the time of day that I feel like, and I know like for most people that I've heard this message from and listen to what y'all got to say, that it's time to start to put yourself out there and start to get yourself out there and start to realize that it's going to be challenging. It's going to be really hard. It's going to really, really put a lot in you, and it's going to take a lot of your energy away. It's going to really come at you with some hard swings. But you got to put yourself out now. You got to put yourself out to start to actually work and help and do what it is that you're constantly been doing for yourself. And the more that other people can see what it is that you're doing with yourself, the more that people are going to want to try to figure out how to be able to get on board. Because it's something with me that I've just really realized that the more and more I try to do and be and make happen on this planet, and just do what I like doing, do what it is that I'm good at doing, do what it is that I just know that, say, I'm called to do. The more that people are interested in wanting to be around and see me and just listen to me and hear what I got to say and get a little input on why I do what I do and why it is the way it is, and even challenge what I do and why I do it, and for me to just, I get better with it, being more calm, more understanding, more patient. But that's the thing. I'm calm and patient and relaxed. But I'll sit here by myself doing what I'm doing and just watching videos. But once you get in front of somebody that comes at you, say a little hostile even, how are you going to react? How are you going to respond? How are you going to be? You can't just run away. You can't just go hide yourself. You got to get out. So that's why I ask, how you doing today? What's going on with you? With that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity for me to be able to continue to keep doing this and keep making this happen and figure out how it is that I can get better at it and get better at a way to being able to effectively communicate more efficiently to make sure that what I'm saying is what you're hearing and what I'm meaning is what you're getting, and not feeling in a way of I'm just out to hurt you. I'm out to harm you. I'm out to destroy you. I'm out to just belittle you. Because that is not at all my intentions. But I do know that sometimes and some things that I say may make you feel that way. But I want you to know it's not in a way of me trying to bring you down, but it's in a me of kind of poking holes at all of us, ourselves. I do this to my own self. I'm poking holes in what it is that we still need to work on. Poking holes on what it is that we still need some guidance in. Poking holes to figuring out who you actually truly are. Because a lot of times, that's the whole concept that I really appreciate, is being able to have the abundance of the money and have the abundance of the fame, and then you can see who somebody actually truly is. That's something that all of us need to be able to get into, to experience, to realize who we actually are. Once we have it all, who are you? Are you going to be the ruler, the dictator, the evil one? Or are you going to be the one that's going to be out to help and share and provide and try to do everything you can to make sure that the person next to you is able to do something super similar to what it is that you have? And that, to me, I'm just so thankful for. I'm realizing today that I don't need to take more so that you don't have any. That I want to be able to give more so that you can give more. And I do know today that the only way that it starts is by starting to give first, and then you'll get some later. And you don't wait for the person to just give you something. And a lot of times, it's got nothing to do with money, people. It's got everything to do with your time. Your time is the most valuable thing on this planet. Your time and what it is that you are willing to do for another person is going to be the thing that you are going to most greatly appreciate at the end of this life. That the more I keep getting older and headed to the, I guess I'm trying to be 120. The book says I can go to 120. I'm trying to be 119 and 364 days. That's going to be Mark Dubose, hopefully. So I'm at the fourth stage of my life right now. Yep, I'm in the fourth stage. I got 3/4 to go, which I'm hoping and praying for. But the older I keep getting into this fourth stage of life, the more I just realize my time is the most valuable thing on this planet. That my money is worthless. My work for my own self is worthless. My games and TV shows is worthless. My time that I put and give to others is everything. And that's the thing that's been able to really help me out of realizing that a lot of time, I don't need no money for my time, but just the opportunity for me to be able to speak what it is that I really greatly, truly appreciate being able to speak about and being able to show you something that I feel like is a gift that God has given me to be able to help you out, to be able to bring something to you. And sometimes I just want to show off that skill in a way, to be able to just give you something. And that's why for me, I'm just so thankful to be able to embrace these skills that I have, to be able to help other people. And a lot of time, this time that I think about a lot, I need to kind of slow it down and realize that there's some more people in my life that I want to be able to be closer to and not have to feel like we don't have enough time, that we got to try to rush some things and try to rearrange some things to try to make it work, as opposed to just living right here and appreciating right now. I'm going to say, people, the one thing that I do love about these dogs is they here, they now, they in it for the moment. And when you give them that moment every day of just awesomeness that they're looking for, you see something absolutely amazing in them. And that's something for me that I've been challenging my own self with, of doing stuff each day that I absolutely greatly appreciate. And I really love putting my time into, and realizing that when I'm in it for that moment right now, that things just start to become better. But when I try to ignore it and try to put it off to the side, that's when destruction really starts to come in. And that's something that I've gotten firsthand experience with recently, that times are changing, things are changing. And I've learned something significant about myself. That a lot of times, time doesn't fix things. And other times say it does, but in most cases, time doesn't fix things. It's a matter of being able to have the time and having the patience and having the self-control and having the understanding that right now is the time. And if we wait later, it may snowball into something of who knows what. But if we can get at it now, we can have something great. That's something that I would hope more people were able to have in their life, in their day-to-day. Something great. And that's why I wonder, how you doing today? Because I want you to be able to have something great today. And if not today, I hope tomorrow that could be the first time that you finally make the decision, decide, I want something better, and put that time in right now. And don't think that time is going to make it better. But doing it now and getting in it now is going to be able to bring something absolutely magical to you, I'm going to say. And that's something that the God that I pray to promises me, guarantees to me. And I want to be able to share that with you, share that experience that I have, to be able to say, right now is the time. Right now is the time to get out and start to communicate, start to learn more about yourself, start to put more people out to be able to really figure out more about how to be able to get better at what it is that you're doing. That not hearing some even criticism about yourself is really slowing you down. And I hope that you're able to take the time required to help you and stop running away from it, stop hiding from it, stop denying it, but do something now. Thank you.